Hello, world, and welcome to the soloQue podcast, where I try to carry myself and potentially get a better opener as time goes on. It is July. It is July. No, it is January the 1st, 2017. First podcast of the year because it just so happened to land on the first Sunday of the year. um, yeah, this is, yeah, okay. Just trying to make sure this is the correct one. Um, First Sunday of the month, and then next one should be the 25th. Okay, just having to get my schedule all set, and I'm going to have to start messing around with the format a little bit. Actually, it was the first topic. New Year, Happy New Year's, everybody. Sorry, this is a little bit late. Had some audio issues where mic wasn't wanting to work. Wasn't working since last night, or had issues working since last night. And I don't know what the issue is. Haven't touched any settings for my mic, and suddenly it just decides to not work. It sucks. And I have an audio gate on here, which I have not touched until today, trying to get this working, and so that any room audio does not get picked up. Oh well. But yes, so I don't have anything much. I don't have too much. Let's say that better, Corey. I don't have too much to talk about about 2016. It was a year. It was a year I think I did a lot better. I set up my kind of a schedule, not schedule. I set up a. It's not a how do I put it? It's kind of like an organizational method, but it's more about self-analysis and keeping track of what I do and changing it from there instead of creating a strict adherent schedule. So I do think 2016 was actually better for me. And I also think that a lot of the talk about 2016 being a bad year, aside from one very particular event, which I'm not going to talk about, I don't think it was that bad. Yeah, a lot of celebrities died. That is sad. And some of them did go before their time, like they're technically kind of young in some cases. I don't see it as, I don't see that as making the year bad. A lot of bad stuff happened in other parts of the world. That happens every year, unfortunately. I don't see it as that bad. If anything, I've seen a lot of, what do you call it? Advances done. So maybe it'd be better if we just focused a little bit more on what good came from the year. And for me, I spent about over 56 hours streaming in just the month of December alone. Technically, I gained 6 followers, but I lost like 4. So I got a net gain of 2. And I honestly should start keeping track of my followers lost myself. Just for books. That's it. Not for any, because the follower numbers, because I woke up today, lost a follower. Okay, again, just for the books. Because I do keep track of everything. I keep track of time. I have a list. I have a log. Because that's what I've been doing since last year. But with this, I want to experiment with my format, how I'm going to do it. Get a actual proper structure. Generally, I do try to talk about what I've been playing the last couple of weeks. Well, I also need to have some sort of way to keep that stuff logged. And I bought some small little notebooks for that. I'm going to start doing that, write down stuff, and hopefully I can get something from there. And I don't know if I'm going to well, I probably won't bother with getting better art for the podcast until I actually have viewers. Also, about the audio problems, I do apologize if there's anything wrong and any cutouts today. I try my best to make sure that I have the best possible audio, but this is still a budget production, so don't expect the most. Wait a second. I don't really know what I'm going to do, but I need to sit down and start thinking, how do I want to present this and what do I want to present? Going into the new year, I in all honesty, do not go for New Year's resolutions anymore. I've looked at them, and by design, they look like they just fail. People on Twitter, people on the YouTubes, people on Facebook, they say, here's what my resolution is, or what is everybody's resolution? And my whole thing is, the thing I want to change the most about myself, I've already started doing. As I said, I've got a system that should be a self-improvement loop. I hope. I need to work on that. I need to make that better. But if I want to try doing something, I want to take at least this year to test out how consistent I can be in everything I do. It's not going to work out the first couple of months, I know that for a fact, but I need to see if I can improve, if I can get some physical improvement. The first time I have a full year, because again, I started it in August, streamed 3-4 days a week, every week, have not technically missed a day, haven't missed a podcast, period, and I haven't missed an upload of the podcast either. That was the whole point of the podcast. I said podcast like 3 times in a row, sorry. That's the whole point of this. Consistency, productivity. Even though no one really views it, it's something I'm doing. It's something I'm working on. But yeah, if I can get this year, if I can take, if anything, if I can keep it up, if I can take every single month and give it some sort of theme, like, it'd be very cliche to say this, but like January would be the month of beginning, you know, literally starting things earlier and starting off this whole new scheduling system with a fresh year. The only reason why the beginning of the year matters for this system is now it has a full year to work with, and it's going to take, and it'll have a full 4 quarters instead of the 1.5 quarters that it's going to be getting. Because I'm going to have to do that evaluation soon. And yes, I do use an evaluation system in order to make sure I am doing things better. One thing I have decided with the podcast going forward into the new year is, from this point on, the only music that will be on the podcast will be on the stream. So I am no longer going to be using a closer music. I'm going to use that on the podcast. I'm going to cut it out when I upload it. And I think that's better, because even though, one, again, these aren't going to be watched, and two, it's not going to make me any money in the first place, I am still going to I'm trying to not mince words. I'm going to see if I can avoid any form of copyright, anything. Even just, if I can help it, I'm going to avoid it. Okay. So, my first day of the year, 2017. Let's talk about that. Again, follower lost. It's not bad. It's just funny that starting off the whole new year, 1 follower less. Okay, that's fair enough. It's not a big deal. Again, this whole thing's a work in progress. It's not, things are going to happen, and it's just more noticeable because it's a small number. Even though 95 is technically not that small, it's almost 3 digits, but still. I also had another surprise today. I got to talk to one of my friends, and she, well, I won't say she showed me an anime, but more had me look up an anime, and it was interesting. Okay, so I want to say in spirit of not spoiling anything, even though, again, no one's probably watching this, I am still going to bring up my seldom used spoiler tag, okay? So it's up, and anybody who wants to leave the room, this series, okay, I can't say the Japanese name because it sounds like it's spelled Gakko Gurashi. I can't say it. Its name is School Live. Anybody who knows what it is knows what it's about. Well, the whole setup is, my friend, she said it was one of her favorites. She loves it to pieces. And she baited me. Because, one, she told me not to look anything up, but I didn't notice that. Two, I just typed in the name and I thought, oh, okay. She talked about, the characters are cute, which she's not wrong. and I watched the first episode. So, for anybody who does not know, I'm going to just get to this bit right now. School life. It's not school life, it's school live. I want to say it stars 5 girls in high school, but they're the only survivors of a zombie outbreak. But the first episode is framed as if it's one girl going through a standard day of school, and truthfully, that girl, she is living a delusion that there's people around when all the people she knows are dead. And I'm like, well, that explains a lot. Actually, I think I can just go through all of my reactions. Not all of them, but a lot of them. Okay, so again, spoilers, but I've already kind of spoiled the main part. Just trying to see if I can remember. Okay, so you have the opening. It's like, okay, cute opening. Happy song, and has the characters. All right. Start up with the girl. I guess you could just refer to as main girl. I'm not going to go into any names because I have to look up the names, and I don't want to try to pronounce them at this point in time. So yeah, she's sleeping. She's woken up by a dog and woken up by another one of the characters. Oh, excuse me. Okay, so dog in school, or dog wakes her up. Okay, but she's also sleeping on the ground. I'm like, okay, I gotcha. I don't. Then okay. Apparently she likes going to school. Cool. Okay. And then she walks down the hall, and then they have, in the school, she has the dog, and I'm thinking, dog in school? Really? Okay. Whatever. I've seen weirder. Then we have, they go there, they eat spaghetti. And I'm just still thinking, so one of the girls likes to cook? Is a cook? Okay. So I guess some type of ritual, so to speak. Whatever. Then you have, oh man, I can't remember her name, but she, purple hair, twin tails, twin ponytails, whatever you want to call it, carries around a shovel. It's like, okay, so you're one of the quirky ones, right? Shovel, good killing weapon. Oh, okay. Cute. That's my whole thing. Like, it's kind of cute. Then you have I don't know, the blonde-haired girl. I think she was blonde. I don't know. Just I'm trying to think of everything, because then she goes to class. She's like late, I guess, almost late. Talking to students. I'm like, okay, banter, and all the while I'm just thinking, this is just being really, really framed like one of those more generic cute girls doing cute things kind of show. I'm like, okay, slice of life. I gotcha. Blonde hair girl pops in. They're like, she's like, we're in the middle of class, and she's like, dog got out. They chase the dog out. They chase the dog around. I'm like, okay, like you do, hijinks. They come to a whole series of desks laid up, and this should have been a big tell for me. It was not. I'm like, is that like a storage area for desks? That's honestly what I thought. Dog somehow is able to open a door and go into there, and then the girl follows in. Well, I think she does a couple of times, and my thought is, okay, so she just has like no idea about, I guess, proper etiquette, or just opens the doors like, there's class going on in there. Like, she looks at her, like, looks down like, sorry, I'm trying to get my dog, and dog runs out. So, and they kind of montage, and I'm thinking, man, this is really oddly paced. I mean, I'm enjoying the cute characters and stuff, and I'm like, there's a level of enjoyment going on. So I am enjoying the show. Nothing bad. But then every so often, the blonde girl will be framed from this odd angle down below. Sometimes you might not see her eyes fully. and she has this very serious and kind of emotional thing. I'm like thinking, is there a problem? Do you have some sort of resentment, or what's going on? I don't get it. This is like serious for no reason, or something is weird. I don't get it. There's a lot of like me not understanding. I mean, I kind of understand what's going on. At the end, they do get the dog. All right, one of the girls also, I guess you could say she has a menacing aura, so the dog stops. But she's like, don't walk on the crops. I don't know. A lot of it was just like feeling it was. I'm thinking this is like trying, a little too hard to be cute. The girl goes back to class and she's talking and I'm like, dude, you're totally messing up because you're talking about a dog like if it's a boy. And then it's like, I'm like, no. And then the veil is removed. The blonde girl goes back to the class, but before that, you see she's talking, and then I notice there's blood everywhere, and I'm like, wait. Is she just like, this was my thought, did she like murder everybody and just be in a complete delusion at the time? No. Everyone's dead. Oh my god. Laura, god damn it, Laura. What did you do to me? I actually didn't even go like, why? No. I'm like, wow, I did not expect that. Then I looked on Wiki before they even revealed it. And I looked saying, oh, survival. Oh, I know what this is now. Oh, damn. My friend is so lucky that I did not just look that up and spoil that little. Because I'm like, what just happened? I got the rug pulled from underneath me. Completely. Like, what? And the worst part is, if I was truly paying attention, if I was paying attention to the actual anime, I would have known. Right? Again, there's a barricade of desks. She was sleeping in what seemed to be a storeroom. They ate in the oh hell, I didn't even notice. I said, one thing I forgot to mention is they said, oh, this is the Living in School Club. Oh, okay. I mean, I've heard weirder names. I'll bite. I'll go along with it. Nope. There's a reason why. Again, they are the last survivors of this thing, and it's like, oh. But again, and it's not even just looking in the anime itself. See, my friend, I would not put it past her to be into adorable stuff because I've known her for like 3 years. Like, okay, cute, yeah. Because odds are, if it wasn't cute stuff, I don't think she would have known my taste in, like, say, action stuff. Maybe, I don't know. Anyways, so I'm like, I would be skeptical if it's like this is like an action series, but no, it's like this is cute girls, and it's just really good. And she wasn't lying. She wasn't like lying to get me to watch it. No, she legitimately loves this. And here's the thing that should have set me off from the beginning. Her name, or her common user tag, is the yandere. Yeah, cute girl, yandere. It's like the signs were as big as billboards, and I didn't even look up. I'm like, okay, I gotcha. I'll watch this, And I don't, and as soon as I did that, it's like, oh my god, every single thing, especially with that girl who was framed at weird angles. I'm like, oh my god, this explains everything now. Again, if this wasn't a zombie thing, if that wasn't like the girl's delusion, it would not. It's like it would have just been another generic slice of life anime. Like, but it's not. It's like, holy shit. That got me. It like got me good. I didn't expect it. Again, and this wasn't like okay. this wasn't a dissatisfaction. This wasn't a thing because it would have been worse if like something really gruesome happened at the end. Like, yeah, okay, so you see that, so it's really dark, and I don't mind dark stuff, right? It's just that when it's intense and gore becomes pretty gruesome and terrible. Like if the quote unquote main girl was just like, you know, if something really bad happened and it was brutal, that probably would have been like, oh god. But no, it was just something really dark. And I can appreciate that in some respects, but I'm just like, wow. And this is not to say my friend doesn't like stuff that's, ordinary, because she said that her tastes are all over the place, kind of like mine. But I think hers are a little bit more on the extreme sides than mine, because she likes Future Diaries or Mirai Nikki. I've never seen it, but I know. Oh, I don't think it's for me just by looking at it. But that kind of shows you. Well, maybe I should have gone to thinking there has to be a catch, but I didn't, and I want to say she got me, but in reality, I got myself. Oh my god. I would say that makes probably the best part of the beginning of the year. Oh god. So yeah, that was fun. After that, just did some stuff. I don't think I did too much else besides watch YouTube videos and I didn't really do too much else today. So first year was kind of getting ready for this and then technical issues. Okay, so spoiler tag is off. Alrighty then. So enough of that. I'm going to talk about some stuff again from last year, but it's about games I've been playing. One, fitting in with the previous topic, I'm not going to say anything. I played Dead Rising 2. Dead Rising 2 is a fun game because I saw something about Dead Rising 4 where it's like, it's just so safe and it's very uninteresting as a whole because it removes a lot of the flaws. I said, I want to play Dead Rising 2 again, and I love it. Again, it's like a zombie game. Except the whole point of it is it's kind of like pseudo open world, but it has a twist. And that twist is you have timers that tell you where to go. Not where to go, but you can pick and choose, and the only things that are necessary are like, what do you call it? The story ones. Everything else is technically optional, but if you do it, you get like a type of experience. I think they're called prestige points. They might be changed from the first game. I don't know if they call them anything different. But that was the main draw, especially for the first game. Although I would still say that 2 is a lot more, I don't want to say streamlined. It kind of changed some things, which made it a little bit more accessible while keeping some of the aspects that still made it Dead Rising. 3 and 4 unfortunately took it well beyond and just made it super simplified, and it's more just aesthetic than actual thing. But 1 was good. Only had 1 save file, but I didn't mind that because it was all about memorizing the locations of stuff and going out and picking it up and then going by whatever stuff you need to get, whatever missions you needed to do. Only problem is survivors were hard and tedious to move around because their AI was really terrible. They would get terrified, and I understand that, but gameplay-wise, I just didn't do any of the survivors. I'm like, never mind. You level up, but a lot of the level ups are, it's randomized what you get. Frank West, he takes pictures of stuff, and that can help you, find your way around a map. And psychopaths are bosses. They're not zombies, but they're crazy people. And they're all funny, so it's kind of a silly game. No real commentary, just, I guess it was supposed to be a nod back to George A. Romero's Night of the Living Dead, which was a commentary on, consumer buying. It really was. And that's the reason why that took place in a mall. Dead Rising 1 in a mall. Dead Rising 2 took place in a Las Vegas-like location. And I enjoyed that because it had like a mall, but it also had like several casinos. It was pretty much a whole playground for you to play around with, and it was zombies. And instead of pictures, you play the guy called Chuck Green. He's a, how do I put this? Ex-motocross champion. So basically, he's like a gearhead, right? He knows stuff, and his whole thing is making combo weapons. So you go to a maintenance room, and you can put 2 items down, particular items, and make a combo set. And it's like, and I believe that this is a replacement for the camera. Of course, it's like, I don't know. Of course. Well, it's a way to get additional prestige points. But I can understand why it makes sense. Because he should know his way around Tool Bench. I believe that. So he's just like, screw it. Bats, nails. I mean, the first time he goes in there, he like pushes open the thing, looks at, finds a bat, finds the nails, has a smirk. I'm like, yeah. And then you get combo cards, which allow you to do stuff. And that was the whole point, like the whole thing about Dead Rising 2, and the thing I enjoy the most is you're finding items and seeing how well things work, or just even just playing around with some weapons, you know? Take CDs off of a case or take jewels and just throw them at people. But then you take stuff that shouldn't even be that lethal and make them good, right? Like a flashlight's a very short-range weapon. But if you combine it with some gems for some reason, it turns into a lightsaber. Like, what? Still kind of short range, but still. And a lot of the weapons were silly, goofy, silly, goofy, and relatively, I don't want to say inane, but just out there. They are technically grounded. Like, you can kind of get a logical progression. Bat, nails, okay. Knives into boxing gloves, setting boxing gloves on fire, punching zombies, and making them turn on fire. Okay, I don't really think you need something that's fully grounded in reality, I'll be honest. But I think that's one thing that the game was going for, right? Because the other ones, things kind of just go really like, oh, this thing does this, I don't know why. It's a sword, but it freezes everything. Yeah. That was weird. And in the other games, not 2. 2 is just awesome. 4 is just a generic open world. But that's the whole thing. You just find, you find cards, you unlock cards, but you can also make them, and you can get these things called scratch cards, which allow you to still make it. You don't get the full amount of, benefit, but you can still do it. So you can test out all these different things. And some of the items, you just can't carry with you sometimes. You can carry them on you, but you can't put them in your inventory. And that's what I enjoy, because the whole thing was about item management and time management. Yeah, it's not for everybody. And I can't say it's a game for everybody. I just repeated the same thing I said twice. Whatever. Not a game for everybody. It's not fully accessible, of course. But if anyone wants to start, I would definitely say start on 2. I do like the character Frank West. He is funny and goofy, but he doesn't really for me, his animation always felt really weird. It's a good game. 1 is a good game, but 2 is better. And I see 3 is just kind of missing the point. So yeah, play 2. I don't know if I talked about this. I think I did. But I'm talking about it again anyways because I love it. Golden Sun: The Lost Age. I am streaming that, and I think I've done 6 different streams. And I'm just remembering, damn, 6 streams? I'm like level 20-something? By the first game, 25, I was relatively done. This game, it's not as linear anymore. Like the first game, I wasn't like purely linear, but it had you're gonna go from point A to point B. It has some optional stuff, but you're gonna go from point A to point B to point C and do the towns in the same time, you know? The only thing you could do is, technically you could go to the Mercury Lighthouse before you go to Trent, the tree guy. You could do that, but that's about it. This one, first, you're gonna go to the same place first always. I'm saying the same stuff over, and this is why I'm trying to get better at talking. You're gonna go to the same first place always. You can miss some things, so you have to look for them. You need the Lash Synergy in order to work a lot of the stuff, but you can go quite a while without it. But you do need it. Let's see. Then once you go to the other continent, technically, you have 2 paths you can go. You can go through a desert, and You can go up to one town, or you can go down the desert, down another path in the desert, and technically go all the way to the center of that one continent, but loop all the way back around. Kind of like how the first desert in the first game, as soon as you get through that, you technically can go back to the previous stuff. But here you can just do it and be. The other thing is, instead of going through the desert, you can go south and go to that other place already. So immediately, it's far more open ended, right? You can get different Jin at different times. You can now, as soon as you go out to sea, yeah, you have to get one Psynergy to start doing particular things, but you can technically go to the different islands at differing times too. I find that interesting. I love the game, and I'm loving it a lot more. I mean, I remember I gave it a little bit of crap, and I do know that there are some problems with like the what do you call it? The narrative. I don't think that an RPG needs to have like the most strongest. It doesn't have to have a purely solid narrative. For me, it just has to be fun to play. But some of how the movement works, how some of the puzzles are structured, you have to do a lot of walking and backtracking in order to like if you mess up on a puzzle, you go down to the bottom, you kind of have to climb back up, and yeah, that's a little bothersome, and it makes like a 10, 15, 20-minute puzzle take like 30, 40 minutes. It sucks, but I think I don't want to say it's okay. I can stand it, right? I don't think it's too much of a problem for me. Again, still a whole like large amounts of dialogue. I can understand that. I don't mind that. The one thing that does bug me a little bit is when you go to some locations, like here's a place and they're in trouble, but there's no real cutscenes. There's no real development there. Most of the islands, you don't really stay there that long. You go there, you go do a thing, you might purchase a thing, or might do a little side quest thing, and then leave. It's like, too bad they didn't not maximize, but increase the amount of stuff that actually went on the islands. I thought that would have been cool, you know? But that's me. It's not that it was terrible either. Again, I still enjoy the play, how the game plays. And I know for some people, it just drags them out of the experience. Me, not so much. It's not that bad. At least not for me, I mean. I know I'm probably saying some of the same things over and over and over again, trying to not do that. As of right now in the playthrough, okay, let's see. I just got past Aqua Rock, and I'm doing something. And I was going to go a little bit farther, but again, I'm having issues because encoding decides it really just wants to spike and disrupts the entire flow of the play. Kind of sucks. So I hope that my like reboot helps with that. Let's see. Sorry. Let's see. Unfortunately, that's all I really had to talk about today. I kind of did stretch some things out longer than I thought I would. And some things I probably messed up more than I wanted. Well. But that was, well, pretty much the last couple of weeks of 2016 plus the first day. I plan to come back. Let's see. I am really still deciding if I want to stream tomorrow. I might not. That's still going to be up in the air. Tuesday, I'm probably going to come back and stream. I'm going to do whatever I might do more Dead Rising 2, depending. Also, silly side note. I have Dead Rising 2 and Dead Rising 2 off the records already on Steam, so I didn't have to play it on my PlayStation. So I might just decide to do off the record, so restart from the beginning, but this time with Frank West, because that's what off the record is. So just maybe expect that, maybe not. I might do something different on Tuesday, or not. I just might do Dead Rising 2 again. Regardless, let's Back Wednesday. Wednesday's a for sure day. Um, what's the word? Damn. Wednesday. Wednesday will be Golden Sun. Thursday is the day off. Friday is Golden Sun. Saturday and Sunday. Those are going to be also the days I decide, do I want to do this again, right? Because school starts on the 9th, which is not this upcoming Monday, but next Monday. So depending upon what happens, although I'm trying to see if I'll solve this either tomorrow or on Thursday, I'll be having to get ready for class, right? But I'm going to make sure I can continue the stream on the relatively ordinary timeline, right? So that's, Monday and Tuesday are technically optional, but I'll choose one of those 2 days to do it. Wednesday, Friday, definite. Sunday, definite. Thursday's off, and Saturday is optional. But I want to see if I can choose at least 1 to 2 days, depending upon my workload. So that is what I plan to do. Hello, I was actually just wrapping up today. Shoot, I'm trying to think now. What was I doing? Okay, so I'm gonna stream probably like at least 2-3 other times this week. I'm gonna go, let's see. Golden Sun's gonna be on Wednesday. The next. Yeah, thank you for stopping by, but I was just kind of pulling up. So let's see. The first is this day, so 15th should be the next podcast, and then I'm not doing one on the 29th, so that next one should be on the 5th, because it's going to be the first of every month. And with all that said, I want to follow YouTube on there, and shoot. Oh, thank you. But yeah, as I said, again, these posted on this podcast posted on YouTube. I have a Twitter. Not much else to say. Again, this was really unscripted today. Let's see. I'm gonna leave this with a cover from Judas Priest, not a cover of Judas Priest. But I do thank for everyone who popped in at the last moment. Unfortunately, again, I'm just ending. But thank you to anyone who stopped by. Thank you for any hosts or whatnot. Thank you for watching, and have a good night.